Hey, welcome to another episode of On the Bench. Today I got something I think you guys are really going to be interested in. It's an old acoustic parlor guitar from, I don't know, probably the late 50s or early 60s. It's a Capitol guitar. A friend of mine asked me to see if we could turn it into at least something kind of playable instead of being just a wall hanger. So, hey, give me a second here. We'll clean the bench off and we'll get right at it. Hey, welcome back. This is an old guitar that a really close friend of mine gave me. Apparently his buddy had it, and I don't know what all the details are. But this is something that he's wanting to fix up, I guess, to give to a nephew or a family member or something, because it was a family member's. And I'm going to be straight up honest with you guys. I mean, I really don't have the skills to work on some of these things. I mean, I can probably get this thing playing again, but you're never going to turn it into a player's guitar. But instead of being a wall hanger, at least, you know, for nostalgic purposes anyway, we can get her up and running. Let me show you what it came with here. Yeah, right on. This is the bridge that came on it. I mean, I'm not sure what that is. You tell me. It looks like a plastic top nut. That's what it looks like. So, I looked around. I mean, without the correct bridge, I could only guess. I'll see if I can't put some pictures up. There are some pictures on the internet of this guitar. This is not the correct bridge for it. I think the correct bridge would have been wider, probably. Probably would have came out to here. But right now it's kind of hard to get parts of any kind anyway. So this is what we're going to put on it. And I think it's going to work. Let's look at this guitar a little. Before we start working on it, let's just look it over here. You can see it's missing. I mean, I assume at one time there were like some little bushings that went in here. You can see that's a little loose. This nut, I'm assuming, came with the guitar. You can see where the strings rested on it. But you can also see how it wasn't even put on right. Steel reinforced neck. There's no adjustment to it. From the pictures, it looks like the bridge probably, and again, it should have, the original bridge would have been real big and fat like this. And I think it would have set down here, which would have made it about a 24-inch scale length. I don't know. This thing here is in pretty rough condition. Although I'll tell you, there's nothing in there falling apart. I don't know if you can see kind of what it looks like in there from this angle. I mean, boy, these things were put together basically with cardboard. And to be honest with you, I don't even like working on stuff like this. I mean, somebody with some skills might be able to make this thing playable. But the way I see this is it's in pretty rough condition. I'd like to get it playable. I'm probably going to do some little maintenance on this. But as far as like moving the nut, it was probably that way brand new. Came out of the factory. If that's the original nut, probably came out that way. I'm not going to clean this up. I don't want this thing to look new. It's missing the pick guard. Trying to find one of those, it probably, if you could, would cost you more money. I mean, you'd be able to buy one of these somewhere on the internet easier than you could buy just a pick guard. I guess that's Ellen. I don't know. Let's get at it. I'd like to get this thing done. So I'm going to start back here with these tuners. Make sure they're just, I mean, I just want them snug tight. I'm going to take them off once back. Just make them snug tight. I'm not looking for this thing to really do much anything. Like I said, this is not a player's guitar. This is not much more than a wall hanger. Yeah, this is not anything I would really want to put a lot of time into, but when one of my buddies asked me to do something for him, I am going to do it. This guy here has waited for this guitar since April. I'm sorry, since this is April now. He'd been waiting for it since February, and he'd been very patient. Friend of a friend's guitar. I just put a little bit of Vaseline on it, and we'll run those things around a couple times. Try to make them be the best they can be anyway, huh? Right? Get that thing turned around a little bit. I'm going to do that to all of them here. So you hang on. Get yourself a beer. So yeah, I'm just taking some of this here, and I'm trying to work it into the ends, you know, where it's making contact with the metal. Usually I'd be wanting to clean all the rust off these things and stuff, but you know, like I was saying, I don't know. I think this guitar here, it's not really a player's guitar. It's kind of an old, cool old guitar. And if I could, you know, listen, man, every guitar's got a story to tell of its own. I can't find that. Oh, that's why I can't find it. And so, if I can kind of leave this guitar's story alone a little bit, I think that just makes it all the cooler. So anyway, that's what I'm doing here, and then I'm going to crank them some more and just try to work that in, then I'll clean it all up and I'll get that Vaseline all off there. So hang on, man. We'll be right back. So then once again, normally I would probably get some, you know, some lemon oil or something and rub it into at least the fretboard. I don't know what this fretboard's made out of. It's obviously painted. I do kind of like the fret markers, but I don't want to do anything to it because I'm not like this. I don't know if you could see it. This decal is about, I mean, that thing, it wouldn't take much for that thing to come off anyway. So I mean, I don't want to do anything like that. And like I said, I really don't even want to move this. I mean, let's just leave it the way it came. But I will wipe it down a little bit. I just hate it when people, my best buddy, he wants me to work on his bass next week. I love this man. He's my brother. He says, yeah. I said, what do you want me to do, man? He says, I like for you to set it up, put some new strings on it, clean it for me. And I'm like, clean it for you? The hell are you talking about? I don't clean your guitar. Want me to clean your guitar? I'll spit on it. I'm going to put these on it. These are, like I said, this guy's not going to go out and gig with this thing. I don't want to put a lot of tension on this neck. This is old. This thing's probably made in the, man, I don't know. There's really no marks that I can tell. And it is probably made in the 60s. So I want something real light. I don't want anything really. And I'm going to start off putting this bridge down here. I think it goes like this. I don't know. I'm not even going to clean the frets, man. I want to keep it all just so it's got that cool old, I mean, you'd be lucky if it'll even stay in tune, you know. I am going to put a little bit of oil, 3-in-1 oil on some of these metal parts so I can kind of stop the rusting, you know, or at least slow it down a little bit. But anyway, let's do that, start stringing her up. So these are the decisions we make here. Again, it's hard to even see from internet pictures what the original bridge, and I don't know how this bridge works. I don't know if the string comes up over this, goes over that way, but I do see where someone has, I think the pick guard, the original pick guard probably came down to about here, so I mean, I don't know, does that bridge go there? I don't know. We'll check it for intonation and try to get it as close as possible, just for those of you that are interested. I mean, there's literally nothing in here to look at. How it goes together. You can see what's holding the side on. Let's get her strung up, see if it'll work. What do you think? So here's the question. I mean, where do you set the bridge? You got to have a. Here's the other question. Where's my? Let's just use this one. I got a bunch of tape measures. I never know where any of them are. I'm going to start it off about 24 inches. I'm thinking it might be 24 and a half. It looks like the pick guard comes all the way down, and I don't even know if you can see the camera angle here. It looks like it comes all the way down to here, and it looked like it was about 2 fingers south of that. So I'm gonna start off stringing the outside and working my way in, and then I'll do sounds like an octave to me, man. Let's move on. So here's what my suggestion would be on stringing. Before you ever put any of them up here, you lift this tail piece up and stick them all in down there, because this thing has this ridiculous lip, and it's very hard to get the strings into it and to make them even seat well. I may even, probably my best bet, just loosen them up down here at this end and go ahead and take my own darn advice, but this is very difficult to string. Also, this bridge, I think you probably need to file some of these notches down first so it'll reach this bar, but I think I'm going to string it up and just see if it plays first. Hang on here, man. Yeah, I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Ton easier to do. I mean, by far. This thing's got this big old nasty lip down here, and it's just, usually you just have to kind of stick it up in there and go around on something, but it sure ain't that way on this one. My buddy's going to be really excited when he gets this done, because I think this is going to his friend, and I think he's going to give it to another family member and kind of pass it down. Geez, I sure hope it plays. This is probably a harmony guitar or a Stella. After World War II, all the fellows came back and they all wanted to have a guitar. They knew someone that played guitar, or, you know, they all wanted a guitar to play. And that's when it all, from my mind, kind of started. After World War II, guitars got really popular and got to where just about anyone could have one. This bridge is really kind of bonkers here, but again, you know, some of these guitars, all guitars have like a story to tell. They all have their own little unique life. And this one here, I just decided, oops, going the wrong way. I just decided it'd be better just to kind of leave it, pretty much let it finish out its career like it is. I mean, it's kind of a rough guitar. I don't know that it was ever meant to, like, still be functional at this time. They're not very well made. We'll see what it sounds like when it's done. I saw some internet feeds where people were saying, oh, it's got a unique tone. Everything's got a unique tone. Alright, let's finish her up. I think it'll go much faster now, my friends. Well, here it is, strung up in all its glory. See why I didn't want to move this. It's not really going to make a whole lot of difference. It has sagged over this way, but I mean, it's part of the guitar's history and story. Hear this? It's buzzing. That's because, you know, it's fretting out. And I mean, the action is super high on this guitar. It really ought to be resting on this metal thing. I've even thought about taking it and turning it around so at least it does rest on it. Because that's the bridge. It's not really resting on the bridge, it's resting on this. I could take these down, but I think if I took them down much, they'd probably start buzzing anyway. I mean, like I said, it's not a player's guitar. But let's give her a play and see what we get anyway out of it. Baby, please don't go. Baby, please don't go. Baby, please don't go down to New Orleans. You know I love you so. Baby, please don't go. No, my mind done wrong. Yeah, you know, the action is uber high on it, but I think if you raised it much, I'm sorry, if you lowered it much, I don't think it'd make any difference. You can see I turned the bridge around. That doesn't, it makes more sense to me the bridge would be that way, but either way it's still not going to touch the saddle, this brass saddle, unless you cut these down, and I think if you did that, you'd probably start getting some buzz. And there's no way to adjust the neck on it, so see, it's buzzing out. But you know, that doesn't mean you can't play it. Diamond rings in my money too. Tomorrow night they could belong to you. You know you rule me as you will. Live the life I love and love the life I live. Yeah, man, just get you these guitars. Go on and get you one. Look, this is a Grover bridge I got off of eBay. Not quite right. And like I said, you could probably take these down a little bit. I'd turn it around the other way. Probably goes the other way. Hell, I don't know. But you could probably take that down a little bit. Maybe. I sure isn't no way to adjust this neck. It sure wouldn't stop me from stringing it up and playing it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, rock on. String them up, stay on the bench, be cool.